Many of you have probably already heard that YouTube is getting into traditional podcasting, so via RSS. Pod News leaked some slides that they said they got from a third party that I will put in this video. I'll have them up on the screen. But this definitely does suggest that YouTube, as we knew was coming eventually, because podcasting is getting big enough to where starting to draw the attention of everybody that's good at advertising, which that's what YouTube essentially is a advertising and search engine. Their ability to tie ads to content will serve them well once again. So it talks about ingestion. It talks about having an exact landing page for podcasts. So youtube.com/podcasts. And then it also talks about search and discovery improvements, including a podcast destination page, following at the show level, and official podcast cards in search. But here's why they're doing it. And it's the only reason they're doing it. Ads. So it says audio ads. Growth of Google sold audio ads, allowing advertisers to tap into audiences who are listening to music, podcasts, or other audio content on YouTube. Launch of partner sold audio ads in 2022. There is the reason that they're going to do this. Money, 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 money. And it also talks about update analytics with new metrics for audio first creators, integrate YouTube data into industry standard podcast measurement platforms, lists Podtrac, Chartable, Nielsen. I couldn't care less about that kind of stuff. That's just me. But here are my thoughts. And then as always, we can discuss down in the comments. People already think YouTube channels are podcasts. So with that blurred line, this makes perfect sense. A little later, I'll talk about the expectation that comes along with YouTube. But since that line has been blurred for so long, this makes perfect sense. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So getting your podcast on there when this comes to fruition is going to probably be a must if you want another distribution center to grow your audience. YouTube already has a monetization strategy built in. So a lot of podcast media hosts and other companies in the podcasting industry are always trying to get you advertisers and all this stuff. But YouTube's already got this strategy built in. And so they're going to be better equipped to make that happen for you. When you're talking about advertising, audio ads and such, you're going to get more from YouTube, because imagine the relevant advertising they could bake into your show. So I do podcasts on Disney Plus, Marvel and Star Wars and other shows. Imagine one of the ads in my show is something to do with a new Marvel movie or a new Marvel collectible or something like that, something that ties directly into the topic. Think of how much more engaged the audience will be than if they're served a Casper mattress advertisement or something like that. And also think about, you could be paired with companies that you would never get the opportunity to work with. They're going to be able to bring in companies that are just going to put ads in relevant content without having to worry about reach per se. Like in the traditional podcast space, you won't get ads from Disney and other companies because you don't have the reach for them to do a buy with you. But on YouTube, you could very well get advertisers that you would never cross paths with in any other capacity. Also, YouTube has access to top tier content creators. So unlike any other platform out there, YouTube already has content creators that are very good at getting engagement. So imagine if they pony up for exclusives only on YouTube podcasting, and they have Mr. Beast and, all kinds of top tier YouTubers have their podcasts exclusively on this platform. That could be huge. And then one thing I would love to see is if I can tie my channel to my podcast. So if somebody watches some of my videos and then YouTube recommends my podcasts to them, that would be awesome. Now, concerns, what about music? I mean, I can barely upload any type of music on YouTube without it thinking I'm thieving music. So I could see that being a big issue, since a lot of podcasters use other services that are not tied to YouTube to license music. So I could see that being a big issue, especially when you talk about ingesting our back catalogs, especially mine. I want to think twice before I do that because some sketchy behavior in my past when it comes to air quotes, fair use. Another concern I would have is being lowballed on ads. Depending on the category, if you look at YouTube ads, sometimes they're just not the cream of the crop as far as how much they pay per thousand. Whereas when you do deals in podcasting, you can get $25 per thousand or more, or much, much more. I'm sure YouTube podcasting is going to be a lot lower than that. That's just my gut feeling based on their video side, but we'll have to wait and see. Hey, if you're getting value from my channel, please subscribe and click a like on this particular video. And another major concern I have for YouTube podcasting is when you say YouTube, the expectation is visual. I know they're mentioning audio only stuff, but the expectation for YouTube is always going to be video over just plain audio, in my opinion. Now, maybe they'll prove me wrong on this, but I'd be curious to see how many consumers out there are going to just assume that they're going to be watching a video podcast, which this is going to have video podcast. But for those people that are not doing video, I'm really wondering how that's going to pan out. We live stream our shows, so I'm able to turn around video as well. So this will be a nice avenue to do that because hosting video on a regular media host is very expensive when it comes to big files like videos. So this is going to open the door for a lot of video podcasts that may otherwise not have been made or would have just been a YouTube channel itself. But we'll see how this all works out. Are they going to be hosting files or are they just ingesting files? A lot of this information will be revealed in the coming weeks, months, and we'll just have to stay tuned and find out. But what are your thoughts on YouTube podcasting? Are you excited? I do think this could be very big. I wouldn't quit your day job just yet, though. Still lots of information we've got to get to. But chime in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about YouTube podcasting. Thank you.